Good evening, Fernwood. It's your TV pal Neil, and it's time for some more late night variety madness with another episode of Fernwood Tonight. If you're just seeing my face for the first time, this is a reaction show where we watch the show together and then we talk about it because who doesn't like talking? And if that sounds like it's your bag, then please stick around. Also, if you're a viewer who feels you have the means to help support the channel, then please visit our Patreon where you get early access to episodes, monthly updates on what's going on with the channel, and more things. Like 4 weeks from now, you'll find out what some of those things might be. So everyone, today we are watching episode 46 from September 5th, 1977. And yeah, well, last week was really, some things happened. So let's take a look back at Friday. Barth Gimble started by letting his audience know that he wished that people could talk about God in the public sphere, and he let us know what it was like to be face-to-face with my God and my mirror. Then we have Virgil Sims, who is now starting a class for truckers. He made sure to let us know that truckers really respect country music, and especially one of his favorite songs, "If I'd a know that you'd a wanna win it with me, I'd a seed that you'd a got to get to go." He further outlines the lifestyle tips in his trucker class, like carrying your own groks and cooking them on your overheated engine, and that many truckers should learn to talk to diner waitresses because that's how they can learn the skills of talking to women. Liquor lobbyist Elliot J. Tubbs takes the couch to say that they have been protesting since alcohol is getting a bad reputation and is not only about drunk driving. Then Barth Gimble takes us back to the theme of truckers. He has a new song about a trucker who is specifically really into fruit. Happy and the Mirthmakers play him off, and that's the time we had to end last week. Everyone, we have just 4 weeks of Fernwood Tonight to go. I've enjoyed the run so far, so let's keep going.
Tonight from Fernwood, Fernwood Tonight, 30 minutes of very remarkable entertainment coming to you almost live with your host for tonight, Mr. Barth Gimble. Tonight, Barth's guest will be Susan Cloud, who went up to come down. Our own happy kind with something you can stick up your nose, and the Mirthmakers with their own brand of whatever. And me, I'm Jerry Hubbard. And now here's your host and mine, Mr. Barth Gimble.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to Fernwood Tonight. You know, it's a cliche, I think, to thank you for letting us come into your living rooms, but tonight I really do wish we were in someone's living room. Couldn't be as hot and steamy and downright unpleasant as old Studio A here is at Channel 6. Unless you've been sleeping in the meat crisper all day, you probably know that today broke an 80-year record for the high temperature here in Fernwood. But that's not all that got broken. As fate would have it, a very old compressor got broken as well. This was also the day the air conditioning here at the station went on the fritz. And unfortunately, because of the heat, the office people got sent home early. Well, unfortunately, not all of them. Here's Mr. Jerry. Hot enough for you, Jim?
No, I'm not one to desert a sinking ship. But you know, isn't it ironic that today's the hottest day of the year and the air conditioner goes off?
It's amazing.
Why couldn't something like this happen during a cold spell or in the winter even?
Never does. Yeah.
It's like the heating system never goes off in the summer. Same thing with your car. When does it run out of gas? When you're out on a highway someplace, 100 miles from here, Lord knows where. It never runs out of gas when it's sitting right there in your garage, which would make it easy. You can run up to the station, get some gas, and put it in. Unless, of course, you leave that engine running in the garage overnight.
Right, sir. Thank you very much. little educational part there. What happened really was no one called a repair service about our air conditioner until it was too late, and we got one of those dumb recordings. And if you've never heard the guys down at Jack and Jill Frost air conditioning stores, was it Jack and Jill's sales and service, I think, sing Frosty the Snowman on a cheap phone answering machine while your socks are brazen. You just never know how hideous summertime can be. Anyway, I imagine a lot of the slicker shows on TV, your Good Morning Dayton or Midday Columbus, would just rerun an old show. If this kind of thing happened at their studios, I'm sure they would. But here at Channel 6, the management has a very, very firm policy of no reruns, which is due to their policy of never keeping tape copies of anything for more than 2 days. Well, hey, tape is expensive, and we don't really use enough to qualify for the professional discount, so that's what we do. We will try our best, however, to entertain you. This is one night you can be positive you're watching the hottest show in town. If it gets too unbearable, maybe we'll just shut off the lights and do the rest of our half-hour show as a radio show. Oh, there, it's back on. Oh, that's terrific. Okay, now...
The heat wave must have broken.
Right, that's a high time, too. Well, now, if you see anybody sweating up here, you'll know that it means one of two things. Either they're nervous or they're lying. Okay? We'll be right back after this word. Stay with us. That's plenty. Okay. We are back with wonderful Jerry Hubbard here, my announcer and co-host, and Happy Kind from the Mirthmakers. As you may know, our own Happy Kind here has a rather interesting medical background in that he was born with only one nostril. We talked about that earlier. In fact, it wasn't until he was a teenager that Happy was given a second nostril through surgery.
And as Happy has pointed out, getting a second nostril just consisted of having another hole poked, and they did not, as many people assumed, remove a nostril from another part of his body and transplant it. Did you get a chance to pick your nose?
Still have your folks writing for you, huh? How are they in the home? They're fine, huh? Oh, yeah. They have them typed now. That's good. No pencils, though. At any rate, Happy has been doing some charity work, I understand, with the nasally handicapped, and he has some pretty fascinating news for us tonight, right, Hap?
Well, that's right, Bart. You see, there's so many people that even though they were born with a complete set of matching nostrils are still having trouble with the sense of smell.
What kind of people are most susceptible to losing their sense of smell?
Well, mostly fat people, I think.
Really?
Yeah, so you see, the sense of smell is very essential to eating, you see. Because if you can't smell something, you can't taste it, you see. Right. So people are eating more and getting fat simply because the normal amount of food that they eat generally just doesn't satisfy their appetite to center in their brain.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. They're always losing, aren't they? And it seems like a vicious cycle because the fatter they get, the heavier their noses are, and the less nostril breathing room. They smell less, eat more.
Pretty soon they'll just seal up altogether, not breathe because there's food in their mouth.
Or probably they breathe through their mouth because that's usually open eating anyway.
Yeah, that's my point. Once the food's in the way, nothing.
Oh, that's right. Chew and swallow fast and then have time to breathe,
right.
Too.
Is there any hope for our noses, really?
Yes. Yes, we like to think there is. You see, the doctors at the Department of Olfactory Medicine in Toledo have come up with a nose aid, which does the same for people that have sense of smell problems as glasses, say, and hearing aids for the people that have bad eyes and bad ears. For example...
Oh, you have one?
Oh, yes, I brought this along.
I hope that thing's as effective as it is silly looking.
Now, that would seem to block out the air.
No, as a matter of fact, it works pretty well. You see, what this has in it is some chemicals that amplify any smell that comes into the nostrils. I'm not going to wear this because it makes my
They
voice sound
amplify.
funny.
It's sort of like a loudspeaker system for the nose, I guess.
Chemically, yeah.
Except without the tweeters and woofers.
Oh, yeah.
Snorters and blowers.
It's kind of a messy attachment, I will say that. But we supply a full bunch of handkerchiefs that goes with everything.
Oh, that's great.
But anyway, the thing about it that's so wonderful is that you do have this, and we've developed this nose aid, and it's a terrific thing because we have different degrees of it. For example, for people that have a very bad olfactory deficiency, we have something to fit them. You see, a different, heavier material, that sort of thing. And another thing is that we register all that and check it on this chart.
Do you have a chart here? Maybe we can move this out of the way and get a look at that. Incidentally, it's nice to see something up there, Hap.
Is that?
Are we getting it? Let's go over here on the rented camera.
I see this right. Now, this right here. This is an onion.
Sure is.
See, and this over here is a dead chicken. Not chicken. Right here.
Sorry to hear that.
But you see, now this is called the scratch and sniff test. Now you scratch any one of these, you see, and the smell that this object represents is released chemically into the air. You see?
Corresponding smell.
That's right.
I'll be darned. We got them all down here. We got dog and perfume and all sorts of gasoline. That's great. Well, listen, you want to take the test?
Oh, I'm game.
We've got the chart. We got the Hooters here. So let's just see how good they are. Don't show us anymore.
Oh no. Well, I'll hide this.
All right. Maybe we can just.
And don't look in the monitor.
Maybe we'll just face this way or something.
All right. Now, will you?
We're only cheating ourselves if we cheat on this, aren't we? It's like cheating on an eye chart. What's the point?
Absolutely.
All right. Now, close off your right nostril.
Okay, and in which case, which nostril would that be?
The right nostril, Jerry.
Oh, actually, the right. I thought.
It's the opposite of the left,
Right.
generally. I'm scratching it. Now, wait. Okay, Jerry, what is it?
I smell an onion. I think that's very clear. That's an onion.
That's correct.
Is that right? Okay.
That is an onion. All right.
That's great.
All right, I'll try you now.
Okay. Still with the right one blocked up and.
Oh, just the right. No, we check them one at a time. Now, let's see what would be good for you. Okay, now don't look.
I won't.
Okay. Okay.
Are you kidding? I know that one. I can even tell you that it was $18 for the room. It's perfume, right?
Yes.
A very special perfume. Yeah, okay, I know that.
Okay, now, you were right also. Now, would you like to try something that's a little less, it's less smelly down there? When you get the farther down there, we have the smaller ones that releases a smaller amount. Would you like to try that?
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Okay.
The same way? Same way?
No, this one now you put the left. You can do the left.
So in this case, the left nostril is the right nostril.
The left. Yeah, that's. I think you got it. He's good, but aren't you going to try? All right. I don't know why I brought this chart down, really. All right, now, Jerry, you try this one now.
I think bringing down is the theme here.
Wait a minute, not yet. All right, what is that?
Smells like a chicken. Was it right?
It was a chicken.
Because it had a foul smell. Did it? Well, I say that because I find that people pay attention to the learning devices with their added spice with a little humor rather than make it too serious.
And so you put a little humor in it.
That's right. Okay, so who smells better, me or Barth?
Well, that's a different test altogether. I brought a couple of these nasal aids over here. I'm going to give one to each of you.
Oh,
You see that?
Put this on. It goes down there.
That's right. And now, the only time that... see, they look nice. I didn't realize.
And when you're not smelling, you can just do like glasses. When you
Good around a pool,
or just for Woodstock. But this might be good for some of you people I know that watch Fernwood Tonight at night. Right afterward, you go to sleep, and a lot of times you have the street lights bothering you. Cars go by. You might live next to the fire station or something, and the lights are bothering you. This would be perfect for our cross-eyed viewers to sleep a little bit more easily. Okay? So, we'll be right back after these words. Stay with us. I can't keep up with these guys. We're back, and we're going to do something kind of special right now. A little tribute to a very special person. I wonder if I could have that mood lighting we talked about. Bring the lights down a little bit. Okay, great. I wonder... I wonder if you could bring them up just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. It's really no fun having the lights turned out on you, that's for sure. And that's exactly what happened to our dear friend here at Channel 6, Miss Jane Tiffany. If you were watching a while ago, you heard the tragic story of how Jane was doing her job, as she did it so well, covering the Fernwood Mules baseball team. And she was down the stadium, got near home plate. Someone turned on the automatic pitching machine right in the face. Would have been just an ordinary broken nose and kind of an ordinary nosebleed if it hadn't been for the incredible complications of hemophilia. Jane is now resting well. She is in a coma. She's sort of here, sort of not here. She's flat on her back in bed, a way that I don't think any of us ever really wanted to see her that way. And, well, I think something that really comes through, though, is medicine can only do so much, but people's hopes and prayers do a lot more. And so I did mine as I can do it best, and that's through music. I've written a little love song for Jane that I hope will help get her off her back in that bed and maybe get her back on her feet again. Also, I hope that, well, maybe once she's on her feet again, if it's a good love song, it could do just the opposite, so who knows? We can say that because she can't hear. Hope you enjoyed this. It goes like this. Boys, do you want to... Get my soul cooking here. If I had a Cadillac, I would drive it slowly. And if I had a cardiac, I'd turn to God, I'd be so holy. And if I was a maniac, I'd run around unruly. And if I was the president, I'd name my daughter Julie. I know what to do with everything but you. You make me feel like a fool, girl. You don't fit no rule, girl. And I've slept with thousands of girls. Please be one of them. I remember all of their names, and I don't make fun of them. Some of them I still love, and I mean just some of them. Please be one of them. Please be one of them. If I was a pharmacist, honey, I'd have things to speed you. And if I was a narcissist, I'd love myself. I wouldn't need you. And if I was a hypnotist, I bet you I could hypnotize you. But darling, I'm just a chauvinist. I know that don't surprise you. I know what to do with everything but you, Jane. You make me feel like a fool, girl. You don't fit no little bit of that kind of caring might do some good. Who knows?
Right.
My next guest is the proprietor of Fernwood's organic health food restaurant, the Butterfly Deli. She is sort of our link with the universe. You know who I mean. Please welcome Ms., which she likes to be called, Susan Cloud. Have a seat, Susan. You wonder, like, when people do this and you have yours out, how do they shake hands? It's kind of,
Well, you can just kind of like let the forces bring you together.
let the force be with you, like that.
Sure, like why not? I mean, try to shake it.
Right. Susan, you have that sort of unmistakable glow of a person who is doing very well in business. Am I right?
Well, Barth, it's true. But like I'm doing well in everything these days.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause like I found it.
Well, congratulations, and be careful not to lose it again.
I can dig it. But like what I found is hard to lose, you know, 'cause it's like spiritual meaning and enlightenment that is working for my life.
Wow.
You know, and it's my life, so it should work for it. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And I want to share him with you.
Share him with me. I'm sort of the old-fashioned type, so I'm going to pass on that. It's just one boy.
Oh, well, Bart, like, I'm not talking in terms of, like, kinky or unchristian or even, like, mildly perverted,
Oh,
you
okay,
know?
good.
I'm just, like, connected with the guru. And, like, he is turning my entire head inside out.
Wow. Well, I guess that could explain your hairdo, eh? I'm just kidding, Susan. We're all one. We're all brothers.
We're all one, and some of us more than others.
Like 1.5, you know, like piece and a little piece on the side.
Oh, don't say that. A little bleep on the side. I think it's what you meant.
The whole thing is out of sight as far as I'm concerned. But seriously, you found a guru here in Fernwood?
Well, yeah. Well, he's like taking a correspondence course to become a guru. Yeah, but he is so heavy into meditation. You know, he like gets you up to this retreat in the mountains, and in one night he showed me the entire cosmos. I mean, we like just got up there after backpacking all the way from Fernwood through the residential districts to the mountains.
Well, it'd be hard put to find a mountain here. They're more like hills. They're really not very high.
No, but we were, so it's cool.
We'll be right back. I'd like to thank my guest tonight, and I'd like to do it a little change of pace, do it in the importance of their being here. First of all, I'm your host, Barth Kimball. Thank you. Special guest, Miss Susan Cloud, and best of luck with the rest of the Clouds where you spend so much time. The wonderful, happy, kind, and the fabulous mirth makers. My announcer, co-host, Mr. Jerry Hubbard. See you tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.
Appearing on tonight's show was Susan Elliott as Susan Cloud.
It might just be me, but that episode was kind of sweet. And I guess I may have to explain that as we go. I don't really know exactly why I feel that way. Barth starts essentially by complaining that the compressor, the air compressor at Studio A in WZAZ Channel 6 has gone non-functional, and that means that they have no air conditioning. And of course everyone at the offices have left and no one can address this, and well, it just is something to complain about, but they seem sort of proud that that's what they're doing. The air comes on at the end of that bit, so clearly it's just a way of talking about a whole new subject. And speaking of new subjects, and I mean that thematically, there's a lot of music change in this episode. The Mirth Makers get a credit in this one, even though we don't even really see them. But they're doing musical things that I haven't heard them do before. Then Happy Kind comes on to remind us about his early life handicap, that he had only one nostril when he was born, and now he's participating in the olfactory health of many other folks. The gadget is dumb looking, and that's part of what's fun about it. And then there's this scratch and sniff test where Jerry and Barth each seem to reveal a little bit about their personalities as they test the scratch and sniff scents that come over to them. I recently watched a video within the last couple of weeks that reminded me that visually we need a little bit of confirmation before we actually know what something smells like. I feel like it might have been a video about candy scents and how the color of the candy can help us know what flavor we've got, but also especially the labels on the outside of the candy. I have to say, obviously the intent of this set is not serious, but you know, we could take a look at a little bit of the science of what happens when you smell something. And then we continue the saga of Ms. Jane Tiffany, who was bonked on the bean by a baseball last week, and I didn't quite realize that she was currently in a coma, but now that makes sense that she's not going to be with us for a bit. This is another song that really highlights Martin Mull's musical skills. I'm doing a lot of unintentional alliteration today. In this case, it's a song with a lot of soul, a lot of gravitas, if you know that's how you want to call it. And it's a really, really heartfelt kind of groove that he plays there. And talking about him, if he was this, then he'd be that, right? If he was this, the refrain is so smart. If I slept with thousands of women, please be one of them, is just such a Barth Gimbel song to be singing. And he comes down to, if he was a hypnotist, he'd hypnotize you. Nope, he's just a chauvinist, and that shouldn't surprise you. And I'm remembering that just from watching that a few minutes ago. The lyrics of the song are so smart and so in character that, wow, that was a real big treat for me. The songwriting in this show really has done some very cool things. I don't always love everything, but this one made a real impression. And speaking of impressions, we get Susan Cloud for another visit. I feel like this might be visit 4 at this point, maybe 4 or 5. She has met a guru, or someone at least who is in training to be a guru. It's sort of a silly set. We don't really learn that much of it, but Susan Cloud, sort of iconic in terms of this show. And that's kind of where we end things. And hey, the topic of the week this week is things that we might be watching 4 weeks from now. We've had one Patreon supporter guess potentially what that show could be. I'm still not quite ready to reveal it in the show, but that's one of those things I'm hoping that you've been guessing. I haven't really revealed what the second show might be. I did reveal that it was an animated series, and it is a very 1970s anime series that I'm putting up there as the second series I'll be watching each week. As for the rest of it, I'm going to let you guess at it, and you know, I don't know what your responses are just yet because I'm shooting just a little ahead of schedule, but I'm very curious to see what you might be theorizing at this point. For now, we're sticking with the 1970s because that's fun for me. I know that later, as the channel continues, that there'll be other things to watch. But that's where we are right now. I figure we'll make the transition as we go, and I'll make calls when I see fit. As far as this last 4 weeks of Fernwood Tonight, I am very much looking forward to it. Thanks so much for watching with me. Thank you so much for leaving your thoughts, feelings, and impressions in the comments. Thank you again to my top tier Patreon supporters, because I don't know how this works without you. We will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.